We're going to Strathmore University, where there is the Media Council of Kenya commemorating the World Freedom Day, which is being marked today. So let's listen in.
While our media landscape is one of the most dynamic in Africa, made up of over 250 active radio stations and a digital advertising market projected to grow at 16% annually for the next 5 years, we must be candid about the headwinds we face. It's all not rosy in the sector. Kenya's decline in the World Press Freedom Index to 117th place is a downward trajectory that demands a coordinated, strategic response from all of us in the sector. Our counter strategies must be localized and context aware. As you're all aware, we are firmly in the artificial intelligence era, and we must properly align. Therefore, as a ministry, through the National Artificial Intelligence Strategy 2025 to 2030, the government has established a comprehensive framework to guide the country on governance and innovation. Most importantly, as a ministry, we are overseeing the review of several laws to align with the realities of the sector. First, the KICA Act, the mother law. It's a overhaul of the Act and its 16 regulations. So as a sector, we need to be engaged with. Number two, we are also reviewing the Media Council Act. As you are ongoing, so properly. At the same time, we are finalizing the access to information policy, which is long overdue, which is actually a constitutional requirement. The government communication policy, for the longest time, we've never had a coordinated government communication policy, which is now at cabinet. We are also working with the support of the Public Relations Society. We are finalizing the Public Relations and Communication Management Bill. This law will define who is a communication professional. At the same time, we are also accelerating the National Addressing System of Kenya system, which will unlock e-commerce, among other opportunities. In respect of the press as a vital component of a trusted data ecosystem, our focus is centered on ensuring that as the media ecosystem evolves, new technologies serve to protect rather than undermine public trust. This requires an integrated approach across three core pillars. First is regarding AI-driven integrity. As a government, we are deploying detection capabilities to identify, generate synthetic and manipulated content against media practitioners. Number two, to support media viability, we recognize that as advertising revenues shift with an estimated 64% of spend moving to digital by 2029, we must work to get sustainable business models for journalism. Number three, we are digital sovereignty, ensuring that as our nation transitions from consumers to creators, our local narratives, indigenous languages are actively protected from automated propaganda. The viability of a modern media economy is intrinsically linked to robust connectivity. The digital superhighway pillar of the government's data plan is providing the foundational hardware for press freedom by rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic cable to enable seamless data flows. Alongside this, we are deploying 1,450 G2ME hubs across the country to scale digital skilling for public communication officers and journalists alike, complemented by 25,000 free public Wi-Fi hotspots to ensure that information access remains a fundamental right rather than a privilege. As we approach the 2027 general election, the integrity of our information ecosystem will inevitably be tested by the weaponization of social media platforms and deepfakes. Our strategic choice moving forward is whether we merely seek to regulate, remove, or entirely rebuild our approach to digital discourse. Our responsibility stands to steward the adoption of new technologies with foresight, ensuring regulation keeps pace with innovation while building secure, transparent ecosystems. By balancing proactive oversight with infrastructure investment, we can foster a trusted digital space that protects democratic values and serves the public interest. Going forward, the future of journalism lies in responsible enablement, not restriction. Kenya is ready to lead the region in shaping media governance that unlocks value for our people while safeguarding editorial independence. We look forward to today's deliberations, translating into a robust World Press Freedom Day 2026 media sector declaration. We expect this gathering to articulate specific measurable commitments across journalist safety, media viability, digital governance, and the protection of editorial independence. Declarations carry worth only when accompanied by clear mechanisms for implementation and accountability. And this ministry stands ready to be held to account under the framework agreed upon today. Let us rise collectively to the challenge of shaping a future anchored on truth and accountability. That is my message from PS Stephen Isaboke. Having read that, and as government protocol demands, I will now say one or two things of what we are doing at the ministry to make sure that the sector remains as vibrant as it is. I must first of all start by saying so many people envy our media ecosystem. We receive a lot of delegations to come and just benchmark on what we are doing right, especially during this transition. There are things we are getting right as a sector that, as I have challenged Media Council before, that we need to document in a media sustainability framework. And in Nairobi next week, I think we should be ready to showcase some of these things we are getting right. And I must congratulate Media Council of Kenya because you're leading in many of these media sustainability activities that may be scattered all over, but that are contributing to our media sustainability landscape. So one of the things that keeps us busy at the ministry is just to make sure that this sector remains vibrant. And one of the things we are having a conversation around is how do we make sure that media remains independent, remains the vanguard of our democracy, and remains an important employer. Because at its peak, media was one of, many young people ran to media for employment. So we need to around it and it remains. The things we are doing through Media Council, press, those media hubs, and all those things that we are doing to make sure that journalists, young people continue to earn a living from their trade is what we are keen on. The other thing is, just in all, I'll tell you, unlike law or lawyers, you can practice until you breathe your last. There are a lot of young journalists leaving the newsroom, and we have no framework for support. And one of the things we are thinking about as a ministry is how do we then have support for media veterans? These are highly informed, highly opinionated people who can contribute to setting national agenda, but they're all over the place through association. So as a ministry and as a sector, we need to think about how to support our media veterans. And my chairman mentioned some of them who are in the room, and we think they still have opportunity